What's up, traders? This is Vee Trades, and today I'll be doing a technical analysis breakdown for Alibaba with the ticker symbol BABA. If you want a chart analysis guaranteed to be done, please read the description below. Also, take a second to give the video a like and subscribe for more chart analysis. I appreciate it very much. This video is for entertainment purposes only, does not constitute any financial advice. I will first go over what I see on the daily chart and finish the video off with the weekly chart. So Alibaba got back above the $100 level. You can see that the market closed at the $100 level. And we had a massive pop up yesterday, so that was a very bullish sign for Alibaba investors. I think most people are long in Baba instead of short, so this looks pretty good to the investors. But is this going to turn into a full-blown uptrend or not? Well, it's too early to call, and I'll go over why in the rest of this video. So let's take a look at the previous price action. This is very important because it looks like prices are coming back to try to test this breakout level. You can see that we had a breakout of this range pattern, and then price action came back to test it right here with this candle. We tested that 110 level, found resistance, and then continued lower. And we continued lower, sell off very harshly, like I was explaining in my last Alibaba video, where it would be a very bullish sign because we're getting super extended and the EMA is going to act as a magnet. And then right when we got super extended, we saw a massive push up right to the EMA. And now we're having a hard time pushing through it. But I think we're going to probably come back a little bit higher, possibly test that 110 level once again to see if we find any resistance, continue selling off. So like I said before, we had pretty much a V bottom. This is a V bottom reversal. Very bullish sign. This could be the bottom. This could be not. It's too early to call. What for it to be a bottom is I need to see something like this. We may have an uptrend and we start making higher highs, higher lows. As of right now, we just had the first impulse, so we need to start seeing waves going in the upward direction. So that would be a good sign that this is the bottom for Alibaba. As of right now, it's too early to call. There's still overhead resistance that Alibaba can face, and we need to see how it reacts. But to me, this looks pretty good. However, today's bullish candle was kind of weak. You can see that we kind of closed inside the previous candle, so this is an inside bar. It could lead to more sideways action or even a little bit reversal. We don't want to see that. We want to see Alibaba continue to push up above this EMA and find some type of support. So yesterday was pretty good. However, we're not seeing that follow through, so we're kind of losing the momentum that we had. So let's take a look at the overall pattern. Again, this is very important to see if we had any weakness in this downtrend. So you can see that if we connect the swings right here, this fits pretty good, and I drag it down. This looks like the trend that Alibaba is respecting, and you can see that once again we did have an overshoot on the bottom side of the channel. We got support here, support here. We got a little bit of an overshoot right here because this candle was outside of it, outside of the bottom of the channel. We came back inside the channel. We found support here, we found support here, we continue higher, and now once again we got an overshoot. So maybe this time we'll get an overshoot on the opposite side of the channel. That's what happens when we get an overshoot. However, this downtrend is very strong, so I'm not completely believing that we'll get that overshoot, but it is likely. We'll have to wait to see how this develops. But there is a possibility to continue higher, maybe in filling this gap at that 160 level and get an overshoot on this side of the channel because we had an overshoot on the bottom side. It just depends on how strong the bulls are, and we'll see depending on where the market takes us in the coming days and weeks. We also had a bounce because the measure move was reached. You can see that this was the first move down, the first impulse. We had a correction up, we had the second impulse, we had a correction up, and this was the third impulse. So usually the first and third impulse are the same length, and you can see that right at the tip of this arrow is when buyers stepped in the market. There was a lot of buy limit orders right here, and once this price action level was reached, you can see that the orders got filled, and we saw a huge rally up to start stopping people out who went short. So it was definitely a trap. We saw a huge push up, but we're kind of going sideways, so this doesn't look good. But it is a little too early to call. I'm not saying we're gonna go back to the lows. I'm saying we're not going to continue higher. It is more likely to continue higher because we had an overshoot, and it looks like the whole market wants to at least rally a little bit more. So I'm expecting Alibaba to do the same, maybe back up to the 110 level, and we need to see if we push through that strongly. That would be a good sign. and then we could probably reach the opposite side of this channel and get a breakout side. So looking good for Alibaba. We want to see the strength continue. We don't want to see super bearish signs come in the market, but we did have that pop up because we were super extended for the EMA. We had a V bottom reversal because we reached the measured move. That was the target that prices want to reach. So this target was where sellers got out of their position and buyers got into their position. So a lot of reasons for prices to continue higher. So we'll have to wait to see how this develops. What is my price target? Well, I'm gonna call it as a bullish sign. I think we're gonna reach that 110 level, 111 level. Maybe if we continue higher and we don't find resistance at that 110 level, we could get a breakout side of this side of the channel and possibly reach the 140, between the 140 160 level. But I'll probably give you guys an update next week. I'm not gonna do any videos Friday, or I might do a video Friday. I'll probably not do a video Saturday and Sunday because I'll be gone out of town. So that's everything I have on the daily chart. Let's go and wrap this up on the weekly chart. So here's a weekly chart for Alibaba, and you can see that we were just due for a pullback because we were getting extended from the EMA, just like what we had over here. Exact same pattern repeating. We're just due for reversal. Market does not move in a straight line. We're gonna have waves. So is this a pullback or is this gonna be marking the bottom? Well, again, it's too early to call. I need to see higher highs and higher lows, not just a thrust up. But this does look promising because we are very close to the bottom for Alibaba, and we had an overshoot of the channel on the daily chart. On the weekly chart is a little harder to see because the wick is inside the channel, but this can develop into something better. We did come back and test that $80 level. It's a very strong psychological level for Alibaba because previously it was acting as both support and resistance. We found some type of support. We broke below that level. We found resistance multiple times. We came back down, found resistance, and Alibaba finally pushed through it. We came back. The buyers was too strong, and then we saw a massive rally. And we never came back to test that level after the breakout. So we did finally come back to test that breakout level, and it's holding right now. But again, if you zoom out on the chart, the grand scheme is still a downtrend, so we can't get overly optimistic. But this does look pretty good. I'm not saying it's the bottom, and I'm not saying it's not the bottom. We'll have to wait to see how it develops. I'm expecting a little bit of higher prices at least before Alibaba does its thing. So I think that pretty much wraps it up. One last thing is that you can see Alibaba, if I put a Fibonacci retracement from the lows to the highs, you can see that it even exceeded the 78.6% retracement and almost did a full retracement down. So maybe Alibaba is going to be like a range bound stock. Let's go take a look at the monthly chart because there's so many bars on the chart right now. So let's minimize that. So this is the monthly chart. So it pretty much did a full retracement back down to the prior low. So maybe this is a range bound company where we will find some type of support at the lows and find resistance at the highs. And you can see the midline is acting as both support and resistance. So this could be a range bound stock just like Baidu, and I'll show you guys Baidu's chart right now. So we're at the lows. There's a possibility to go back at the highs, and we'll have to wait and see. This might not be a buy and hold company. This might be a 1 to 2 year swing trade company where you buy the lows, sell the highs, buy the lows, sell the highs. We'll have to wait and see. This is just a prediction. It's too early to call if this has any validity. If we find some type of support and we continue higher, then I'm going to be focusing on this pattern. So it could be a range bound company. And let me show you guys Baidu right now. Again, this is the monthly chart, and you can see that it's very range bound. We're kind of just going high to the highs to lows and lows to the highs. So this looks like the chart for Baidu. Since 2010, we've been kind of going sideways. You can see that the 147 level is the same price action at the 2011 to 2012 years. So again, this could just be a range bound company. Maybe this is the range and we had a little breakout on the top side. We could get a breakout on the bottom side. Or the range might be just a little bit wider, maybe something like that. We'll have to wait and see how the market develops. But again, Alibaba can just turn into the same thing as Baidu, range bound. So that's pretty much all I have for Alibaba. I'll give you guys an update next week. Normally I give you guys Friday updates for Alibaba, but today was a little exception because I might not make a video tomorrow, but I'll make one for Friday next week. Thank you for stopping by and checking out my video. Make sure to check out the rest of the channel since you might be surprised what you can learn. Leave a comment down below on where you think prices are headed. Also share the video if you want your friends to learn about the markets. Lastly, I appreciate any feedback to help improve the channel since I want to deliver great content to you guys. See you next time, and bye. If you guys like how I do my chart analysis on YouTube and you want to learn how to do it yourself, click the link below to check out the Vee Trades technical analysis course.